o'clock. My day is on the run. I'm not sure what I'm getting back for all the work that I have done. There's something that I've noticed. There's a sparkle in my smile. There's a diamond waiting in the rough, and it's been there all the while. I know that it's no secret to live life for today. I found it hard to shine, but now I've found a way. I've got the magic in my heart. I've got to ask for what I want. Speak my mind and let it shine. There is a goddess within. I've got the passion and the spark. It's my time to make a mark. Take a stroll and full of light. There is a confidence about me.
All right. Woo! It's Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday. Hello, Jill. Hello, Tiffany.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to be here with you ladies. I am all dressed up, sisters. This is what a fabulous Friday during the 15-day hormone reset looks like. It looks like we look all dressed up. and I've got my crown on correctly this time because I want to enter the palace. I want to enter the palace of queens and kings, and you can't do it if you have your crown upside down. So make sure that you have your tiara ready, your sexy boa for the first Fabulous Friday. And I don't know what's happening the second Fabulous Friday yet, but the whole thing starts September 14th. And if you are in the Natural Solutions for Hormone Balance Sisterhood right here, you will actually get a very special price for the 15-day hormone reset if you haven't done it yet. It's just $15. So for the first week that we're promoting it, which starts next week, only right here, if you jump in the first week, then you'll get it for $15. It's a no-brainer, right? It's an absolute no-brainer. So I want to make sure that that you jump in as soon as you can, and I'll be announcing it on Monday. And Monday is, what's the date on Monday? It's the 17th. So on the 17th, only this group gets access to register to the 15-day hormone reset. It's an incredible program. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of testimonials from the program of just incredible changes over the 15 days. So clear out your calendar now, September 14th through 28th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time at least, so that you make time for yourself. We are going to rock this. And today, I'm going to take some of this gorgeous stuff off, see if I can get it off. And today we have two beautiful ladies, Tiffany and Jill, who you can see right here, who are going to help us sort of get our mindset in the right place to be able to actually do some of the 15-day hormone reset, because they're going to share with us some of the things that keep us, right? It's kind of between our ears, but that keep us from making the powerful changes that are necessary in order for you to get out of hormone hell. And I was in hormone hell for so many years, and it wasn't until I just stopped the negative chatter in my head and said, that's enough, right? And so we're gonna break free. We're gonna break free today. Can't wait.
Sounds right. Sounds exciting.
Oh my gosh, sounds exciting. You're gonna lead the way. So I love their little mantra that is dream, believe, do, and repeat. I love it. I love it because you've got to have that vision, right? You got to put that out there, and you have to believe with all your heart it's going to happen. And then you kind of have to let go of it. They're going to show us how to do it. And then, you know, I always say, like, you know, when you knock on the door of your dreams, hard work happens, right? Or hard work answers. So it's not like you just can sit around and do nothing, right? You have to do something. So I love the do, and then you just repeat it. So it's so awesome. So welcome, Jill and Tiffany. It's so great to be here with you. Amazing manifesting goddesses today.
Thank you so much. We love you. We're so happy to be here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And Jill is a private client. She was actually a speaker in the 15-day hormone reset the last go around. They know their stuff. So share with us a little bit about how you got into this whole, like, manifesting your heart's desires.
It's been a wild ride. It really has, but it's all been divine guidance. When you get that intuitive hit and you just go for it without any reservations or fear or anything, and you just run and take any inspired action that you've been told to take. And that's how Rise Up and Shine was born. And it's just been an amazing transformation of event after event after event to get to where we are today. But it all comes down to listening to your intuition and listening to your higher self and being true to yourself. But not only that, I would have to say, you know, paying attention to what you want rather than what's in front of you. Wouldn't you say that that really helped?
Definitely. And for me, when I realized I had managed to create this life where I was joyful most of the time, regardless of what was happening in my outside world, I just knew, it took time. It took years to get to that point in my life, but I didn't want it to take women years to get to that point in their life. I wanted to share what I had learned so that they could do the same thing and reach that tipping point of more joy than sorrow in your life. And when I found Tiffany and she was basically teaching the same thing, magic happened, and we just love sharing it with everybody.
That's so beautiful. That's an amazing concept too, because we know that if we're joyful, right, or if we can get ourselves back to joy, that life is good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Life is good no matter what's going on the outside. And something I haven't shared is that Jill actually was the crazy, amazing event goddess who helped me put on my one and only live event this last January before the whole, sheltering in place thing happened. And I had no belief, zero belief that it was gonna be pulled off like with such ease, right? Fortunately, I found Jill somehow, and I just believed because she believed, right? So sometimes we have to hold on to somebody else's belief because we don't really believe it for ourselves, and that's why you hire a mentor. Right. So I held on to her belief because she kept telling me, like, isn't she so calm? Like, she kept telling me, oh, it's all going to be fine. It's like, well, the projector and my computer have never worked together before. Oh, I'll get it to work, and then what about like the, this and that? And it's okay. Oh, the screen's tilted. I'll fix it. you know it's like, oh my gosh, okay. And so then it just made me so calm, and I'm like, okay, well, everything's just gonna fall into place because Jill believes. And of course I had the content part down, right? But she had all of the, gazillion little pieces that just pulled the whole thing together because she's the manifesting goddess.
She is.
And I love your point about when you're having a hard time believing, having somebody along for the ride with you that does believe and has your back when you're not believing. That's what's so huge about having a mentor is, oh my gosh. And I find that when working with you is, okay, well, I may not be believing in myself right at this minute, but I know Robin believes in me, so I'm going to make good decisions.
And that's why, a group like this is so important because there are women in this group who are where you want to go, right? And so they can show you how they did it, and you can hold on to their belief that it can happen. And for many of us, we're struggling with a lot of health things, right? And so Jill and Tiffany are going to help us find our way out of that mentally today. And I've been using I use these beautiful cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks. They're really health. These are health and law of attraction cards, and I totally believe in this because what we focus on expands. It's so true. And I told them I would share this today because I think this is a wonderful jumping off place. I know that when I was stuck in hormone hell, I really had this lack mentality. And I just remember hanging out with my girlfriend at one point, and we were telling each other like what our desires were, like what we wanted, and I couldn't figure out what mine were. Like, she had this whole list of really cool things that she wanted, and I didn't have one. Like, I didn't feel that I was worthy, or, looking back, I'm not sure what in the heck I was thinking. And I feel really sorry, for that young woman who was, not coming up with any really amazing desires. But that's how I was. Like, I just didn't, like, I just had never been asked that question, I don't think, before. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know. And I blurted out some really lame things. And I'm like, well, that's really silly to manifest that. Like, why don't you think big, sister? And it took me a long time to think big. So this card says, my attention to lack of attracts more lack of to me. And it's specifically important when it comes to all of our health challenges. So one in particular is, weight. So this particular card is about weight, but it says from your place of lack, you attract more lack. And that's why diets don't work, because you're focused on the fat around your middle, right? And when you say, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that I do not want, you are giving attention to all the stuff that you don't want. And so you hold on to it. But the way to get to where you want to go is to give your full attention to what you do want, right? So what you do want, not what you don't want. So Jill and Tiffany, take it away, sisters.
So we love, this is one of our favorite subjects to talk about with law of attraction, is focusing on what you do want rather than what you don't want, especially when it comes to diet and exercise and eating. Both Jill and myself have lost, I think between the two of us, almost 300 pounds and over our lifetime. And it all comes down to focusing on being well and being healthy and having our body feel good, not I'm losing the weight, I'm taking this out of my diet, I'm doing this to get rid of. Because when you do all of that, all you're doing is, first of all, you never want to lose your weight, because then you're going to find it again. So that's one point. But when you focus on those lack mentalities, those lack things, it's like more energy goes towards that. Like it's almost like your controlling kicks in, your controlling mindset kicks in. Well, I can't have this, so, but I really, really, really want it, but I can't have it. But I really, really want it. And then more energy, then your tummy really starts to crave it. And then it's because you're adding more fuel to that fire. You're adding more energy to that. So when you turn and refocus on the result that you want, the solution of what's going to happen by you changing your mindset, by you choosing differently, which is what Jill's going to be talking about, it's easier for you to talk or think about yourself in well-being, to think of yourself as being healthy. You actually wake up and feel your cells changing, and you almost have a skip in your step, because you know that your body is changing, because you don't have that craving or that thing, because the fuel and momentum is going in a different direction towards well-being, towards being healthy, right?
Mm-hmm. And acting as if is so key, because if you think about you in 6 months or a year, after you've taken this amazing journey of getting to where you want to be, and you think about, okay, what your body's going to look like and how you're going to feel, and then you think about what you're doing now with and to your body and what your attitude is, when you're in the place of having this amazing healthy body, are you going to wake up in the morning and be discouraged when you look in the mirror? Hell no. You're going to get up and you're going to go, damn, girlfriend, you're sexy. So it's time to start doing that now instead of later. This horse has to come before the cart. You have to start loving up on your body now. And that puts you in that mindset of acting as if, and that's what draws the strength and the power to get to where you really want to be. It supports you through that entire journey.
Can I add to one more thing to that? So with acting as if, like Jill said, loving the way you feel in your body, that is key. If you love the way your body is now, regardless of the bumps and divots and crevices and rolls, if you really look at yourself, undress yourself in front of the mirror, and this could be difficult because when I was, 312 pounds, I had to do it, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me. I love all of me. I love my belly. I love my big butt. I love my big legs. I love all of me, because my me is not my outer shell. Me is not this skin I'm in. That's not me. Me is inside. And when you love all of it, the weight and everything is so easy to be in well-being, because you just embrace you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So well said. I mean, I just feel like we just need to take a moment and just give ourselves some love right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just put your hands on your heart and, just say, I love you. We say, I love you to, a lot of people in our lives, but how often do we say it to ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Just, I love you. I love you. And you can say your name, right? I love you, Robin. Feels so good. I remember one of my clients, she was so disgusted with how much weight she had gained. And she was sitting in my office, and she said that they were remodeling the bathroom, and the mirror was down, it was sitting on the floor. So when she walked into the bathroom, it was focused on her stomach. And she said, so every morning when I walk in the bathroom, I'm disgusted. So I said, so what do you like about your body? And she said, well, I really like my breasts. And I said, okay, well, your to do between now and next time I see you is to put that mirror so that when you walk in the bathroom every morning, you can see your breasts.
So the next time,
I know.
That's perfect.
So the next time she came in, I said, so how's it going with the mirror? She goes, oh my gosh, it's so much better. Now that's not exactly what you ladies are talking about, but we sometimes have to fake it till we make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Well, what you did, Robin, was you put her in the feeling place you started her on the journey to loving her body, because as she loved her breast, she could then know the feeling of loving her part of her body, to be able to embrace the love other parts that she wasn't too fond of.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'd love you to do right now is to just put in the comment section, like, you're super aware of what's not working for you, right? We're just like hyper aware of our health problems. So write down a couple of them in the comment section right here. Just take a moment and just say, like, what are your top 3 things that you want to overcome, be victorious over, heal, right? What are those top 3 things? Because, I used to be able to rattle them off just like that. So what are your top 3 things? And then a little bit later, we're going to start visioning a little bit. So any tips here for the ladies to write down their top 3 things?
Just whatever comes to you. Don't be shy, because we're digging deep here. So don't be like, oh, I'm not going to put that down because I don't want all the other sisters to see that that's something I hate about myself. We guarantee you there's other women here that are thinking the same thing. So don't filter this. Just let it all out there, because when you can let it out, that's when it can begin to heal. So whatever it is that you're harboring, whatever visions you have of yourself, let's get them out there right now. Let's start mixing it up.
I like that. Let's mix it up. And
Mix it up.
this is a very safe space, right? This is a place, this is a community of love and support. And so just, love up on your sisters wherever they are, so that we can, rising
A rising tide lifts all boats.
floats all boats. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Floats all boats. Oh, I like that one. That's good.
And it's also lifts all boats. Yeah. Okay, great. So we've got that down. So we know what our issues are, right? So if we're having, this is such a great question, because I remember, my days were so full and busy, right? Like most of us, I would get up in the morning, I'd help get the kids ready for school, I'd get my stuff, we grab things, and I literally felt like I was flying out the door, right into the car. I'd bump my head on something, or I'd slam my finger in the door, or I drop my coffee, or whatever it was. And then I would say to myself, well, that's just how the day's going to go. Right? It's just going to be one of those days. So, and it's really funny because I haven't had any of those days for so many years now. But that's that was my mindset at the time. It's well, that's how the day's going to go. So if we are having one of those days, if we start out and we're grumpy when we get up, and, we drop things, and, we're kind of a mess, and we just chalk it up to another bad day, how do we pull ourselves out of that?
And I have a saying that any day can be saved, even in the last 5 minutes of it. It's never too late to save your day, no matter how far you've gone into it with the bumps and the bruises and the attitude. And yeah, so I have a point about this, but Tiffany can also speak to, what do you do when your day starts kind of going down that tunnel?
So I think we both have funny things that we actually do to kind of shake up the energy. So we kind of, if I'm really having a storm of a day, I actually jump up and down 3 times and turn around 3 times and shake it all off. And now I actually have my family doing it because it works. And she's even done it because it changes the energy and shakes everything up. But the one thing it does is it makes you laugh. And laughter is the one thing, is the biggest and most powerful emotion that you can ever bring forth into your space. It's the highest vibration.
Okay, so can we do that right now? Can we jump up and down and turn around and laugh?
Sure. The day's going so well. But
yeah, I know.
Okay, here we go.
Okay,
here we go.
Okay. It's so funny because you're trying not to fall down.
But it's true. I've even done it, because if I have a tendency to just stub my toe or do different things, I'm like, oh, I need to shake this off. And I just do it. And I've even done it in the parking lot, or even, out in public. And Jill's like, what? The first time I did it, she goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm shaking this energy off.
Yeah. So do you ever just go like this, just to let go of whatever's not working? Yeah.
And the thing about these days that start to do this to us, those are the days when it's most important to remember your tools, because it's when it's hardest to make the change is when it's the most important to make the change. Those are the times when you're really stepping into your power. I mean, if you're already doing pretty well and then you get yourself into a slightly happier mindset, that's wonderful, but those aren't the moments that are going to change your life. It's when you're down in the dumps and you can find that strength within to change your emotions and be happy. Those are the days that are going to make the biggest difference in your life. And emotions are huge. Can I just talk about emotions for just a second? So when you are in an emotional state, you can change it any minute. All you have to do is take a moment to think, okay, what's wrong here? What I'm feeling a little bad. I'm either feeling mad or depressed or angry or scared. Think about something that brings you joy. You don't even have to go do it. Just think about it, visualize it, and it immediately changes your emotional state. You can't think about something wonderful and not have your emotions change. I don't care what kind of crap storm you're going through that day. And what I love about tying it all into our goals of having this amazing health and our amazing bodies, if you can check your emotions every time before you eat, you don't want to eat or pick your meal in a bad emotional state, because you're not strong during those times. That's when the bad things just come out. If you can just say, okay, I know I want this, but before I go for it, I'm going to put myself in a good emotional state. So often than not, your decisions will change, because now you're feeling good about yourself, and everything that is going to support you is going to fall in line with that. So check your emotions, sisters.
Yeah. That's a great that's a great plan. So think of something that brings you a lot of joy. Right? Yeah. It's a heart math concept. And yeah, put your hands over your heart and just breathe in and think of something that makes you so happy. I love that. And yeah, we have way more control over our emotions than we think we do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So so one of the big challenges that I see with my clients, but I also see in the 15-day hormone reset. In fact, some of the women who were not successful in the program chose to not give up things that they know are not supporting their health, right? So how do we, let's get this set right now before the program starts, because of course my goal is that every single woman sees some incredible results. How do we give up those things that really, I don't know if they bring us so much pleasure, or they're a comfort habit? Or one of the gals said that it was really interesting the way she worded it, but she said, I didn't see any results with this program. She said, I refuse to give up coffee because my husband and I have a ritual around it every morning, and we like covet that ritual. And, I would have to give that up. So I'm not, and I didn't see any results. So what would you say to her?
Well, to her, I would definitely say there's a way to you can find a way to do your wonderful ritual. It doesn't have to be with coffee. Robin has so many amazing, wonderful ideas that she's given to me around replacing those things that you kind of covet and really, really want with something just as wonderful and just as amazing. But I think my biggest advice is, when you're in the place of saying, okay, these are the things that aren't serving me, we tend to say, oh my gosh, I could just never give that up for the rest of my life. I'm going to be so unhappy. Well, I have news for you. You're not, because you're going to get to a place where it's not so exciting anymore. You can teach yourself to love something new. And when I know how daunting it can be to think, oh my gosh, how can I give up my glass of wine every night? Or how can I give up my Sunday donut? But you will get to a place where you won't want it anymore. And understand that when you do the self-work around that, it comes. And you're just going to, all of a sudden you're going to think, oh my gosh, this other thing that's better for me tastes so much better and so much wonderful and so much yummier. I honestly don't miss it. You're not going to miss those things. I know it's hard to believe, but the day will come when you're not. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm giving this up and I'm never going to get to enjoy that happiness again, because that's a myth. That's just not true. We're replacing it with better things, wonderful things.
The other thing I would say is take the word give up out of your vocabulary. You don't have to give up anything. You are making a choice to be well, and you're making a choice to be healthy. And you are choosing you in Robin's amazing 15-day program. And by choosing you, and by choosing this fabulous journey with a amazing mentor that is guiding you and holding your hand through the entire thing, you're not giving up anything. You're saying yes to you. And by saying yes to you, there's going to be new things that you have to accomplish, and new challenges that are going to be put in front of you. But that is not necessarily a give up, because you had decided to say yes to you, and saying yes to you is far more powerful than any lack word out there. And whether it's something that you have had your entire life, like Diet Coke or creamer or anything like that, that even when I went through the program and thinking there's no way, like that was the one thing I thought I would miss. I mean, I craved it. I was like, my goodness, but I made a choice and I decided that I was choosing me. And those were things. When we choose us, there's no thing, nothing, no thing that is greater than us. So no thing, nothing has more power or more energy vibration than that. So you're not giving up anything. You made a different choice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. I love everything that you gals have said. It's so true. Like when you choose, when you say yes to you, that is incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So let's say yes in the comment section right here. Yes to me. Yes to me. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Because yeah, I think that, you know, when I think about it, that's what gets in the way really the most of reaching our health goals, is that we continually say no to ourselves. Mm-hmm. You know, when we say yes to someone else or to something else, we're saying no to ourselves, right? And so we keep putting ourselves on the back seat or the back burner or whatever it is. Yeah, that's so great. Okay, so this is a really big one, and then I want you to share something really special. How do I stay true to myself? So this is really important right now. And this is something that you brought up, Tiffany, which I think is really incredibly important. How do I stay true to myself and balanced? Like, how do I stay balanced and emotionally like happy and stay on track and all of that when there is so much bad news every day for months and months now? Like, how do we overcome that?
Can I answer this? Mm-hmm. I think it goes back to exactly how you started the call, Robin, by focusing on what you want and not what you don't want. And when you focus on what you don't want, more of what you don't want comes back to you. So it's like attracts like, you know, which is how you started the call. You started the call with, if I focus on something I don't like or that's not resonating with me, it comes back to me, but it comes back tenfold, because what happens when we focus on something that we don't like? We put a lot of energy into it. So I'll just take one example. When you go to a restaurant and you really like it, you might tell a friend or two, or you might call up your mom or dad or best friend. You might be like, oh my God, I had the best steak at blah, 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 or the best food. But if you don't like something, the entire freaking world's going to know about it. And you put a lot of energy into it. So that's an example just about focused energy. So when you're looking at something that's in front of you, picture it anything, life, news, a car accident, driving down the road, traffic, anything that you don't like, and you put your energy or emotion around it, you are channeling that emotion or that focus right there. You cannot be in joy and lack at the same time. It's impossible. So when you notice that, you notice, ooh, I don't care for that. That makes me feel bad, or that makes me feel yucky. Switch, like Jill said, find something else that you like. Change the radio station, turn off the TV. Or like you said before our call, choose not to do the bang bang shoot 'em up movie if it affects your emotions, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, it's hard for people right now with everything that's going on in the world to focus on themselves. It's a challenge right now for a lot of people. So we want to give you permission that it's even right now, it's okay for you to step into who you want to be. This is not only an okay time to be doing your self-improvement and self-care and making yourself better, it's the best time to be doing it, to focus on you. Just because there's chaos in the world does not mean that it's not okay for you to focus on you. You are an amazing, important, wonderful person, and that comes first. And then all the other stuff that's happening in the world. Then you can go, okay, is there a way I can help? You know, I can send love, whatever it is, without letting it affect you. But that's your first.
And to add to that, you cannot give, you cannot send love, you cannot help if you're not full. If you haven't done your self-care, if you don't love you, if you haven't done your work, and we get a lot of times our clients say, but you're asking me to be selfish. Well, yeah, we are. Mm-hmm. We're asking you to be selfish because you have to love you in order to fully love and help somebody else, because you cannot help anybody if you are in chaos. You cannot help them if they're in chaos and you're in chaos. You're adding to the chaos. You can only help them by being a bright light.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have shared some really important points. And, you know, now is the best time, like Jill said, to get your stuff together. I mean, I remember, you know, our older son came back to live with us, and, you know, he can tolerate some pretty heavy, you know, movies. Mm-hmm. And he kept trying to talk me into watching them, because I just don't, right? It just stays with me. And so, you know, at some point I said, you're going to have to stop trying to convince me, because I'm just going to say no every single time, because I just don't want to feel like that. Right. And so we have a choice over and over and over again. You know, we're addicted to the news. You know, we're addicted to what's wrong. And so you want to start shifting that. Every time you see yourself going there, you want to shift that around. News is never good. You know, rarely, there might be a little nugget, you know, in the NPR news, maybe, but most of it's all bad, right? So, you know, I always say, I don't really know what's going on in the world, but my husband and my son, they tell me the things that I need to know. But otherwise, you know, I'm pretty ignorant. I just really want to be in that happy place. And Jill and Tiffany talked about, you know, we get to choose how we react to things. You know, if something happens, it's not so great in the day. I mean, you know, we're still so blessed in so many ways. You know, we just have to be able to let it go, you know, be able to let that go. So right now, how can we help this beautiful community vision a little bit? So help them come up with a few dreams for themselves, so that they can put them right here in the comment box. How can we get them to vision a little bit on, like, acting as if it's happening right now?
Well, first of all, don't go small. I mean, we want to hear where you're headed. I mean, don't pick something that once you get there you're going to be disappointed. Pick the best. Pick where pick something that lights you up. I mean, if a weight loss goal isn't really what lights you up, but maybe what you're going to get to do, what you're going to be able to do more of when you get to your wonderful, happy, ideal weight. Let's hear that. Let's hear what lights you up about your journey and where you're headed. Get excited about it. Do you want me to share my vision statement?
Yes, I do. So one of the things that's super important, and I love what Jill says, like what really gets you excited, because that's going to help you stay on your path when life gets in the way. And it always does, right? And so one thing that we did at my live conference was we actually wrote our new health story, and both Jill and Tiffany shared how we have to act as if it's already happening. Whether you believe it or not, you're going to keep telling yourself that you are this, you are that, you are whatever it is you want for yourself over and over again, because you will eventually believe it and it'll eventually happen. So Jill actually was like a rock star when it came to writing her new health story, because it was a challenge for a lot of women to write it as if it were already happening. So Jill, read your new health story that you wrote. It's incredible.
Every day is full of joy for me. All of the people I see and meet feel my energy and are lifted up because of it. I love my time of exercise and meditation every day. My work flows easily and my thoughts are clear. This morning, I did a headstand on a paddleboard and Sexy Hot Lover was very impressed.
Oh, that's so awesome. And it makes you laugh. I know for many of us, when we write down what we want and it's as if it's happening right now, we don't believe it, and sometimes it's hard to read that to yourself. But it gets easier and easier. And I know for me, I think when I first wrote mine, I think I had tears. It's like, oh, this is like, I don't really believe it. It kind of makes me sad that I don't have it, like some emotions came up. But the more you read it, the more you just start to embody it, and it just starts happening. So that's a really important concept, to act as if. Okay, sisters, share with us about your the beautiful opportunity you have for this beautiful sisterhood.
Well, we would love to invite them all to go in and join Manifesting with Purpose, because we have a wonderful little Facebook group where we learn all about all the things we've been talking about. And in there, you'll see we have 2 dates for a webinar coming up. We have tonight and we have in 2 weeks, and it's called Conversations with a Know-It-All. And what it's all about is learning to communicate and get messages from your higher self, and really start listening to that intuition, because she has all the answers for you.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So can you guys put, let me just think a second. So make sure that you, Rebecca, Rebecca's helping here. If you can find, it's Manifesting with Purpose. So, Rebecca, if you can find the Manifesting with Purpose Facebook page and just post it here, and then the ladies can, it's a group, then the ladies can find it. And then in there, we'll also post, is there a sign up page for the Conversations with the Know-It-All?
There is. So we'll make sure she has, or we can just post it if you want to, the links to register for the webinar.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Or get it to us and we'll make sure that it's posted in there.
Okay.
And we'll also put a sticker in here because we all need to figure this out. Like, it's really, really important that we get reconnected to our intuition, because we've been ignoring her for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And women have incredible intuition. And when you connect with that and start listening and acting upon it, life changes in such a huge, powerful way. It's your knowing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so do you have like a few bullet points of what you're going to share in this webinar?
Yeah, actually, one of the things that we're going to actually be talking about, which is so great for these women that are going through this journey with their health, is how a lot of times your higher self will speak to you through your body. So we're going to be talking about that.
Looks like they're frozen for just a second here. Yep. So hopefully they will be right back with us. And while we're waiting for Jill and Tiffany to come back, I would love for you to post, if you haven't already, just post your what is it, your BHAG, your big hairy ass goals, but your big dreams for yourself. And I love that, Jill said not like your weight loss goal, but the really cool things that you want to do in your life, and that will drive your health journey. And what I always say is we have to get healthy to lose weight. We can't lose weight to get healthy, because it never works, never works. And one of the beautiful side effects of getting healthy is weight loss. It just comes naturally. So so I would just love to know, like, your just maybe 3 big hopes and dreams of things that you want to do. What is going to keep you super motivated? Okay, ladies, go ahead and share. So you talked about the first thing that you're gonna share. A couple of other things.
We're going to talk about how you can actually talk to your inner self and hear messages. So get clear divine guidance.
Awesome. I love that. And anything else?
How not to let fear stand in your way.
So great. Okay, so we're going to get that link up ASAP, because we've got to get this done, right?
Yes.
It's all that matter between our ears that sort of keeps us stuck. And I know for me, most of my life I was anxious, and that manifested itself in doing. And so I was always doing a lot of stuff, which means I wasn't really tuned in. Right? I wasn't really checking in. I wasn't tuned in. I wasn't paying attention to my inner guidance system. And for women, it's like, oh my gosh, we're rock stars when it comes to that. And I love how you said that that like one of the main things that you're going to talk about is how to start listening to your body, right? Because my body was whispering to me, and then it started talking a little bit louder, and then it started screaming at me. And poor thing, I just kept ignoring her, because sometimes we have that brain chemistry that just says, keep going, keep going, keep going. So it wasn't until I got pretty far down that I started listening to her. And so hopefully you can listen sooner with Jill and Tiffany's help. So it's Conversations with a Know-It-All. Your higher self has all the answers. So make sure that you sign up for their free webinar. That's tonight. And then you can also, if you can't make tonight, then you can also do a couple weeks. Yeah. Anything else you want them to know?
Oh, we can't wait to see you on the webinar. And we love you, Robin. And we just congratulate every woman that listens to you on a regular basis, because there's just nothing better you can do for your journey. And let's get those hormones in control, man.
And really step into yourself and say yes to yourself with Robin's 15-day, because it's definitely life-changing.
Yeah. And say yes to you by signing up for the incredible webinar, because it'll set you up in a fantastic way for a successful health journey, no matter what it is, right?
Right.
All right, ladies, it's been so amazing having you here. So sending you so much love.
Mwah.
And so much love to all of you who joined in today. Congratulations on saying yes to you. Oh my gosh. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.